My dear friends, the documentary which we present today is about non-aligned movement. Two important effects of World War II were the rise of independent nation states and the Cold War between the USA and USSR. Not only did these new states of Asia and Africa want to avoid the membership of any of the two power blocs, they also wanted an independent foreign policy that would not be dictated by these superior powers. This new foreign policy took the form of NAM. This movement maintains that any nation has the right to freedom and choice of action in the international field. The non aligned movement is a movement of 118 members representing the interests and priorities of developing countries. The movement has its origin in the Asia Africa Conference held in Badung, Indonesia in 1955. The meeting was convened upon the invitation of the Prime Minister of Burma, Ceylon, India, Indonesia, and Pakistan, and brought together leaders of 29 states, mostly former colonies, from the two continents of Africa and Asia, to discuss common concerns and to develop joint policies in international relations. Prime Minister Nehru, the acknowledged senior statesman, along with Prime Minister Sukarno and Nasser, led the conference. At the meeting, Third World leaders, Nasser, shared their similar problems of resisting the pressures of the major power, maintaining their independence and opposing colonialism and new colonialism, especially Western domination. Following this meeting, a preparatory meeting for the first NAM Summit Conference was held in Cairo from 5th to 12th June 1961. The first conference of non-aligned head of state at which 25 countries were represented was convened at Belgrade in September 1961, largely through the initiative of Yugoslavian President Tito. Subsequently, conference involved ever increasing participation by developing countries. The 1964 conference in Cairo, with 47 countries represented, featured widespread condemnation of Western colonialism and the retention of foreign military installation. Thereafter, the focus shifted away from essentially political issues to the advocacy of solution to global economic and other problems. The criteria of membership of NAM are as follows. First, the country should have adopted an independent policy based on coexistence of state with different political and social system and on non-alignment, or should be showing a trend in favor of such policy. Second, the country concerned should be constantly supporting the movement for national independence. Third, the country should not be a member of multilateral military alliance concluded in the context of great power conflicts. Fourth, if a country has a bilateral military agreement with a great power or is a member of regional defense pact, the agreement or pact should not be one deliberately concluded in the context of great power conflicts. Fifth, if it has conceded military base to a foreign power, the concession should not have been made in the context of great power conflicts. Egypt is the present chairman of NAM. Now the structure and organization of NAM. The founders of non-aligned movement and their successors recognized that the movement could probably be destroyed if they created such formal structure for the movement as a constitution and internal secretariat, a multilateral transnational organization made up of states with differing ideologies and purposes could never create a rational administrative structure to implement its policies that all could accept. The objectives of non aligned movement. First one, granting freedom to people under colonial and allied domination. Second, establishment of a just international economic order. Third, elimination of the causes and horrors of war and especially elimination of the nuclear weapons. Fourth, promotions of human rights. Fifth, condemnation of all forms of racial discrimination. Sixth, protection of the environment. Seventh, abolition of imperialism, colonialism, and neo-colonialism. Eighth, peaceful coexistence and amiable settlement of international disputes. Ninth, strengthening the role and effectiveness of the United Nations.
Now, the issues which non-aligned movement have tried to solve. Since its inception, the movement therefore attempted to create an independent path in the world politics that would not result in member states becoming pawns in the struggles between the major powers. This resulted in a large part of history being influenced by global tension of the Cold War between the two superpowers. However, Cold War was not the sole or only critical issue on the agenda of the non-aligned movement. A cursory glance at the history of the movement reveals three basic elements which influence the approaches of the movement to international issues. These are the right of independent judgment, the struggle against imperialism and neo-colonialism, and the use of moderation in relationships with all big powers. Non-aligned movements have always contributed for a peaceful world. It has given its contribution to many issues such as economic issues and coordination of different countries. It also has been the coordinator of the coordinating bureau and role of the chair. The non-allied movement have always helped the world to shape. It also contributed in world's peace order. We can have a look in the 1992 when there was a war in Indonesia. So they had the Jakarta summit where they had discussed the problem. In the G7 and European Union have always been thankful to non-aligned movement because they are the reason why it is still prevalent. This is all about non-aligned movement. Thank you, friends. Thank you.